Mm. Hey y'all, he left me, so it's just me. I don't know why he doesn't.
Yes. Oh, sweet Jesus. Are you ready to have some fun tonight, Kay? Because I'm ready to have some fun.
I'm ready.
Okay, okay. Um, welcome to another episode of the Lucrative Love Experience. I am one of the hosts, the one only Magneto 7 in the building. I'm here, along with my wonderful host.
Unapologetically, Kay, how y'all doing?
Hey, what up, what up, what up? Um, everybody knows, and I don't know if IG. I don't think it likes when I do any of the what's the name? When I play any music, I might stop at some point, but at some point I really don't care. But no, I do care because we got to build the followers. We got to build it up. So I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop at some point. But how was your weekend? How was your weekend?
It was,
Talk to me.
my weekend. It was nice. I went and took myself out on a nice little date. Went to the movies.
Okay.
Sushi,
Dolo.
Dolo. I mean,
Oh.
started off Dolo, but it didn't end that way.
w-
I'm cute, y'all. Apparently, somebody.
Mm.
That's all I'm saying. Somebody, some people in the world think that I'm kind of cute. So, I-
Mm.
okay, all right. Oh,
Hold
wow.
Hold up. So wait. So you went outside,
Mhm.
right? Did you go outside for Mother's Day, or you just went outside Mother's Day weekend?
I just went outside Mother's Day. I mean, on Mother's Day, I went to go see my grandmother, of course.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, Granny. Even though I know that you ain't gonna see this until I show you, but I love it.
What is that? I heard something. It sounded like a male voice burping or something. What was that?
I don't know. I did touch this. So
Okay. So that may have been it. So you were outside. What movie did you go see?
I went to see the Avengers movie, the Unavengers, the new Avengers. They're not Avengers.
So that's a real movie. I saw a lot of people joking about it, but I didn't know if that was a real movie or not.
Yeah, that's a real movie. I went to go see that. I liked it.
Okay.
I like
Hold up. Is that the all girl? It's supposed to be the all girl Avengers or something like that?
no.
Okay. What was this one? What did this one consist of?
This one consisted of like people who are basically bad guys that turned into good guys
Ah.
movie to help save the city, which it was just like, okay, so I appreciate this content. I appreciate it because it was definitely something to watch. It was not like any of the normal Marvel movies at all whatsoever, but I liked it.
Okay. So, I, um, I would like to watch it, but I'm not sure that it would be my cup of tea. I ain't gonna front.
If you don't like follow like all of the stuff like with Iron Man and all that stuff, then you might not like it.
Where did it pick up from?
It picked up after what Thanos and that last war. Like all of the Avengers are gone. There's no more.
Okay. So it picks up after that.
Yeah. Yes, it picks up after.
Okay. Well, so you got a connection, something going on with your net. I think it's your net because I'm hardwired. What up, Reg? I don't know, if Reg, can you hear everything good? Because it seems like K is going in and out. Now I know we don't have. I know we didn't change anything with the audio, so we don't have no noise suppression on or nothing. I want to make sure that she can be heard because this is a very important night that we need to hash out some things. We got a whole lot to talk about. We got a whole lot of talking to do.
I just need to know if you can hear me or not. So if not, then I can come back on a different platform.
Okay, I can hear you. Let's do this. I feel like I need to restart because I don't want none of this episode to be messed up. I don't want none of it. Hold up, let me see what Reggie says.
But he said sounds.
Sounds good on both ends.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. So, are you done with your Mother's Day weekend?
don't. How was everything for the mom's musical?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. It was good. The musical was fire. Shouts out to Reg. Reg sponsors some tickets here. But the musical was great.
Mhm.
I think what I learned was spend more time on delegate no, not delegating, spend more time on finding people that you can delegate certain responsibilities to.
Okay.
That is the most like supreme important thing that I learned through this whole process. Because the actual show, the I won't say it's easy, but I'm a creative, right? When you're a creative, that part of it is simple, right? I think the main thing is having a good checklist, and this is for anybody that want to do a stage play and you've never done it before. Have a like your checklist need to be out of this world. Case in point, we had we had two shows, right? For each show, we had to have somebody to collect tickets.
Mhm.
I recorded both shows, so I had that locked out. Shouts out to Pastor Savage. He was in the building. Him and his wife did tickets for us, like as far as collected tickets, handed out the VIP, um, uh, gifts and all that stuff. But it was still more people. I feel like we needed a good. Hmm. I feel like we needed a good 12 people,
Okay.
honestly. Part of the crowd, I wanted them to do like the human relations, like the PR, and talk to the people in the crowd, and just do some fillers. Because something else I noticed after all of that work, I was like, we didn't do an email list, but they did have to buy the ticket online. So being that they had to buy the ticket online, we still got the information that way. But had it not been for the tickets, we wouldn't have another way to do all that. So I was like, okay, we need to make sure the next one we have email lists along with social media handles.
Yeah.
Because what I would like to do is thank everybody personally on the wall or in the stories, and just make it more communal,
Yeah.
So stuff like that. A food runner. Oh my God. Like I ran to get the food. So I'm playing stage manager. I'm on the walkie-talkie, like, okay, what's coming in next? What's coming in next? Meanwhile, on my phone, I got the food orders popped up and said, "Oh, your food is ready." So like, all right, we got two more scenes, and I'm doing a whole bunch of back and forth, and I was just like, okay, we need a person for costume, wardrobe. We need a person for um like the stage manager to make sure that the everything is together as far as set change outs, uh, audio double checking. Oh my god, oh my god! When I tell you, I had so many. I won't say I was pissed off, Curtis. I love you, boy. You know I love you, boy. No Diddy though. No, no Diddy. But I wish we would have just had certain things in place a little bit better, so it was a cleaner process.
Okay.
Um, but outside of that, the actual show, the turnout, I was pleased with it. I was definitely pleased with it. I'm looking forward to the next one. I had a lot of fellas that asked me, "So what's Father's Day look like?" I was like, I said, I really got a dope idea for Father's Day.
Mhm.
All right, I give you a little bit of it. It's not a play. It's not gonna be a stage play because I don't feel like dudes to show up for that.
Okay.
That's like more of a feminine type of thing, right? I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but
There's a man that likes some good stage plays.
yeah, I like it, but I'm not the average. You know, I'm not average. I'm more I'm a graduate of him. I became a sir.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's hard. You can't say that ain't hard. I'm now a sir. I'm not a him no more. Sir, what you sir? What is that? Yeah, I'm a sir now. But I'm thinking about doing some type of like big cookout meets like a cigar rum kickback meets just a chatting session. I say chat session. I might have to disguise it as like podcast with the fellas or something. I know a lot of dudes like that stuff.
Would like that, I think.
Say what?
I think they would like that.
I think a lot of dudes would like that too. So I'm working on that. If I get there, cool. If not, then it's at least it's an idea for next year. And also, right now I might have I ain't gonna say their name, but I may have a big sponsor on the line for a lucrative music festival. So I'm in the middle of doing that. Also, I got some dope fire content coming. Oh, Jill Scott cry. I got some content coming that's for that. Hey, can't nobody copy that one. They gonna be like, where did that come from? Yeah, yeah. I'm not a him no more. I'm a sir. I'm a
Oh,
sir. So my weekend was cool. I enjoyed it. I just now started to get the feeling in my legs back. I learned that I was still a big back. I am still a Sir Big Back right now.
oh my,
I am. I have not lost enough weight. I'm still a big back. I own it. I own my ish.
okay.
But yeah, my legs are just now starting to come back. I'm just now starting to feel the feeling in my toes. The palm of my foot feels a little bit better. Um, yeah. And it was just I just had a lot of hiccups. I had a whole lot of hiccups that I really would have rather done without um for the actual play and the process. Case in point, you- my life is content. I can't make
I
this stuff up.
100%.
Say what?
I believe it.
So I had to rent a trailer to hook up to my truck, right? I haven't driven with a trailer on my truck in probably about 8 years. Yeah. So you already know where this is about to go. So I'm riding. I packed all of the set. I had to build an additional door, which we didn't even use for the play when it came game time for the actual day of. So I took these two 4x8 sheets. I put them on the back of the trailer and I'm riding. I'm like, it's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, I just need to hurry get back home. Because if I get back home, I go ahead. And yeah. I was like, I'm going to just get back. So I get a little bit faster. I probably doing about 70, pushing 80, right? I got a Hemi engine. I got a Hemi. So I, now I see. I was like, what was that? So I look back in the rearview mirror. The big 4x8 sheet just gets airborne on 285. Yes. And I was like, no, don't hit nobody's car. I see cars swerving. I said, oh my God. Oh my God. So then I was like, you can't turn back, dog. You got to keep going. You got to keep on pushing. You got to keep on. You got to keep on pushing. So not only did I lose a piece of my set hours before the play,
Oh my God.
but it's raining and everything. I was just like, all right, it's over. Like, it's over for the day.
How
Yeah.
that
My life is a big piece of content. It's just content. My whole life is content. There it is. I said it. Hold up. I just saw the real KS. What up, KS? Man, what up? Trey Kelly, what up, man? Yeah, but the whole shit. I was like, I hope the Tesla don't hit it.
oh my gosh.
Somebody hit it though. Somebody definitely hit that big old piece of wood. But we're not here tonight to talk about wood. Maybe somebody's wood. But we are not here to talk about sheets of wood tonight. Tonight, on the day of May 13th, the Diddy trial has officially started. Yeah. Before we start doing some reviews, what's your thoughts so far? Do you think he's gonna get off? Do you think he's gonna get his full term, full sentence? What you think so far? Hmm?
I don't have a choice but to speak on this because, um, do I think that he's going to get like all the time? No, I don't. Um, do I think that he's going to serve some time? Possibly.
And
I,
why do you think he would not serve time?
because of terms, conditions, and verbal jargon.
Okay.
So part of part of the case that I heard was when they were speaking on one of the alleged exotic people that had come and allegedly fornicated with his then girlfriend.
Okay.
How she had asked him to do certain things to her, and we don't know the context behind it. So it's just that she said and told him that she wanted him to do these things, not knowing the backstory.
All
And
right.
the backstory could have been he told her to tell this guy to do X, Y, and Z.
Okay.
This is
All
what,
right.
but you wouldn't hear that. You probably won't hear or know about any of that based on how the questioning could possibly happen.
All right, let's get to it. We're going to bring Lauren La Rosa to the stage. Listen, Lauren girl,
Honey,
let me know if you want to come over here and talk a little bit. Let
kind
me let me know.
of good.
That would be a cool little situation between you and Lauren, just like y'all hash it out. That'd be fun, right?
Good for content. Like she has all the connections.
We're not talking about connections. We just talking about a good person that's just covering footage. That's all we talking about tonight.
Of
Just
course.
just footage. That's all we talking about. All right, so we gonna let Lauren get on the stage and let her talk, and we just gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it because I think this is worth discussing. Let's see where she at. There she is.
Now we need to talk,
Let's hear
okay?
it. Let's hear it.
Because let me tell you something. Let me tell you something right here. If what I witnessed today in court is the way that the rest of this trial is going to go for Puff, he not gonna see that maximum jail time they talking about. His lawyers don't play with them at all. Like this was the first day of opening statements and the first time we heard any witness testimony, right?
Okay.
I honestly, for one, didn't think we were going to get to any witness testimonies because I thought the opening statements were going to be so long. The prosecutors, they came out swinging. I'm not even going to hold you. So court started around like 9:35 a.m. I was in the overflow room for the first half, and then I actually made it into the real courtroom. Diddy was dressed in all gray with a white button up. He actually did get his hair cut a little bit. His facial hair was trimmed up a little bit. So the prosecutors opened this thing up with their opening statements, and in their opening statements, and the prosecutors, for those of you guys who do not know, are the people that think Diddy belongs in jail. The government opening statements actually begin with, he's a cultural icon. He's Diddy. He's larger than life. But there was
Set it up.
another side of him. That was the opening line of the prosecutor's statements. So from there, you already know where they're going with it. Started with Cassie, but they didn't start with the video. Prosecutors talked about a night where Cassie, basically had found out that Puff was dealing with another woman, and she was like, I'm out of here. And she went to go be with another man. That man, Alex Fine, who is her now husband, who I actually saw in court today. So I
No, I'm not gonna say nothing about it. Nope. Not right
at
now.
one point
Not right now.
Cassie was going to testify today, but it didn't happen. But they talk about how Diddy, when he found out this, got his gun and got a couple people that work with him and went to go find Cassie. Like
Oh, what'd you say, Kay?
Sneeze, sorry.
You writing something down?
I sneeze, sorry. I
Okay. Okay.
was on like this rage allegedly. Like the prosecutors was like, if y'all think y'all know, we about to tell y'all something new right here, right now.
Tell us.
Prosecutors used their opening statement time to introduce a lot of new information.
I did.
The defendants, Diddy side, didn't do that. So prosecutors let us know, number one, that there is a woman named Mia, right? And this woman named Mia is a woman who used to work for
All right,
Puff.
hold up. Before I let her go, I think this is a teachable lesson, at least for me. And you can tell me what you think, because we're gonna go through it. I feel like whenever you're trying to nail somebody and like get the maximum sentence, not even just that. If you're trying to win a battle,
Hmm.
you want to focus on whatever the point is. I
Yeah,
realize that they introducing new character witnesses.
Too soon.
Is way too soon. And I think like it just case in point, that was the difference between Kendrick and Drake when they did the whole battle. Drake started to attack Kendrick's wife, um, Dave East, Top Dog. He was just everywhere. He was just shooting shots everywhere, right? When Kendrick came back, he said, "No, I'm gonna make this about you," and he dug deep in on Drake's family and Drake's like mental psychology. Like he broke all of that stuff down. So I feel like that's the same situation with this. Like they're going way too quick on introducing new character witnesses.
They should have just stuck with what was relevant at the moment, and that was just talking about what was going on with him and those other people. I feel like bringing in Cassie. I'm sorry, I'm cold.
You
Um,
good?
bringing in the whole Cassie situation, which we already kind of knew that they were going to do that anyway, but bringing her in um, for this is just trying to make her to switch it. And this is just, all alleged that they're trying to switch it so it's more about what she brought to the table and what she did versus what he did to her and what he did to other people and the introduction of the trafficking of human beings allegedly, all of those things. When you bring in, oh, this person was around, she was seeing this other person, what does that have to do with what's going on at this
Exactly.
case? It has nothing to do with this case. It has nothing to do with what's going on. You're talking about um, what a person did with um, a worker,
Right.
uh, and you're not talking about how the S worker got pulled into it. You're not talking about the situation on how did they end up at that location. Who
Because
brought?
for me, I feel like this is the perfect setup for a consent.
Mhm.
And I haven't even watched all of the videos just yet because I wanted to make sure we covered it on the pod. But this feels like they're about to set Cassie up
Yeah.
for consent. Well, you knew what Puff's freak offs it consisted of, and you still stayed. Why?
What was holding you? Like
Right,
hostage? Like they're gonna bring all that stuff in, and of course, why? She already won this battle, but now you're back in it.
right. Now
Now,
this another thing. Did she not get the 50 million in
yes,
November?
yes.
She just got the 50 million. I ain't gonna front. Honestly, I don't know that I would have signed up to be a character witness, but maybe she didn't have a choice. Maybe she got subpoenaed. She didn't have a choice. I'm gonna give her that benefit of the doubt.
You can give her the benefit of the doubt. She could have been subpoenaed. All of these things are just allegations, but at the end of the day, you have to deal with all of this.
Right. Let's let her talk. Let's let her talk.
She was his one of his personal assistants, and the prosecutors say that Mia will testify in alleging that she was sexually assaulted by Diddy, and that she basically all of these years was scared to come out because of the power and the influence of Puff. They told us that Cassie is going to testify and allege that Puff made a male escort pee in her mouth. That is what they alleged in their
Free
opening
nigga.
statements. There was an escort that got on the stand as a witness. During this testimony, this escort talked about being made to pee in Cassie's mouth.
Mhm.
But this witness says that it was Cassie who
Yeah.
asked him to do that. Now, and that
Did we not just say that? Did we not just say that? This is a setup for her to be. It was. They're gonna say this was her consent. This is a setup. Oh my god.
in video, and this was T. And this is why I'm saying Puff's attorneys ain't nothing to be fooled with, okay? Because let me tell y'all. So the CNN video from 2016. This video, I think people keep bringing into question. And for me, I knew that even though they were saying like they were trying to figure out how they were going to use it in the beginning of all this, right? We had that conversation. I knew that they were going to have to be very strategic about how they used it. They as the prosecutors, because he's not being charged with domestic violence. So the prosecutors brought that in by bringing a witness. The witness was a man who was a security guard at the Intercontinental. The security guard, when he's being questioned by the prosecutors,
Yo, this that boy gonna get off.
That is what everyone's been talking about, that he's going to get off because he has like more male jurors than he has female. Talking about circumstantial evidence. They're talking about things that truly don't matter when it comes to the allegations that are against him at this particular moment. Like, what do any of those things dealing with Cassie have to do with
A
him?
RICO charge.
What what does it have to do with it? What does it
Hold
have?
on. Hold on. Maybe I don't know what a RICO charge is. Let's look it up right quick. Maybe I don't know what a RICO charge is. Let's see. What is a RICO charge? All right. Racketeering Influence and Corrupt Organization Act. Charged with serious crimes. Charged with serious crimes. Racketeering activity typically involving pattern illegal activities. Uh, so
All the stuff that he was doing?
so I'm just trying to okay, criminal enterprise, pattern racketeering activity, association with the enterprise, so this okay, all right. This is my issue. This is part of my issue with all of this. Industry people, y'all know me. Y'all know I I've been a Christian for a very long time. Some people call me a square. I saw y'all doing coke. I saw y'all doing mad stuff. And what I do? Hmm, wow, I'm gonna just go out here and see if I can get me one of these. What they call it? What they call them joints in New York? The hot dogs, not a stogie. What they call the hot dogs?
Oh,
Oh my, you know what they call them? A slugger. I can't. But anyway, that's why every time we was in the studios in New York and LA, they say, Nito, you don't. I said, nah, I'm good, dog. "Oh, you don't want nothing to drink? I said, nah, I'm good, dog. I just drink wine every now and then. This is why, cause I'm looking at it like this. All right, if we want to say, okay, criminal enterprise, how many dope boys do we know that got in the music business and put money behind artists to get hot? A lot. Okay, that's one.
okay, but none
But
were involved with these multi-million-dollar billionaire type of alcohol companies, were they?
you can't say they weren't.
I'm just saying, not to the level of he was, correct?
I can't say that because this is if because I'm just thinking about it. Think about it from a taxes standpoint.
Reggie said
What Reggie say? I ain't read it. Read it for me.
Bad Boy Records was a criminal enterprise fronting as a record label.
Mm.
Not really a record label, but you know.
But see, okay, all right. So, and I don't want to say because I am down here. I live I live in Georgia. So I'm gonna be real.
You better-
I'm gonna be real touch and go. But how many different companies rewarded the idea of being real out here, bro? Nah, he a real one. He out here and he been getting it in. Oh, he done seen some real bodies. We have seen this and heard this for years. It has been rewarded in the form of record deals, in the form of endorsement deals with these different, again, liquor companies. How many different rappers did we see hold up the Ciroc bottle?
Lots of them.
So for me, okay, if that's gonna be the grounds that you stand on, then how many other labels and how many other owners are gonna get pulled to the table and have to have a discussion? That's what I want to know. Cause I'm not taking up for Puff. None of what I'm doing is taking up for Puff. I'm just looking at it from an overall standpoint. Like Kendrick said, I'm gonna burn the house down. It's time to burn the party. Okay? If that is the case, indeed, and all of these companies have been fronting money to these D boys, and they have been profiting off of the deaths and the murders of all of these rappers. Triple X, the dude was I can't remember the dude that was in L.A. Young Dolph. If there is something related to all of this, okay, I get it.
At Diddy's purse.
Say what? I just saw Joe said something. What did Joe say on IG? Can you see it?
That America was built on the backs of the Rockefellers, such as they built their whole enterprise on criminology. It's the American way. Only demonize my brothers and sisters that look.
Hmm. So again, if this is where this is going, if this is where this whole case is going,
Yeah,
are we gonna call Clive Davis to the corner? Are we gonna call him to the stand and ask about? Because he was one of the first financiers,
of
huh?
course, but of course they're not.
Are we gonna call Jimmy to the stand?
Of course not.
Hmm?
But if they do, and all of these people are under the same umbrella, so to speak.
Yeah, that's where my brain is going right now. Who else is gonna have to jump in? When Nino Brown said at the end of in the New Jack City, if I gotta go down, I'm taking all y'all motherfuckers down with me. I want to know how many of the white counterparts that were funding these organizations, how many of them gonna get called to the stand?
Probably not.
Okay, why not?
Influence will trump a lot of things. And,
Okay, how many of the politicians gonna get called to the stand? Because they were there too.
oh,
Oprah was there.
there were lots of them there. I doubt that there will be a lot of them being called to the stand because the way that the trial is going at this moment, they're pushing everything off towards Cassie. They're pushing everything off towards these other people. They're trying to deflect, and they're doing a really good job of it because you like coming out.
But if we're talking racketeering,
It doesn't matter. You see how hard they went in on that Rico. Okay, that you have this, but they turned that into she. This is consent. They all wanted to do this, so it's going to turn into all of these people instead of them being alleged victims. They're all people that wanted to be there because they knew what it was.
hmm.
Turning,
Okay,
they knew what this was when they decided to sign up to come.
let's talk. Let's talk a little bit
They
more.
established like, oh, he was a former LAPD officer, or he's an LAPD officer now. He was a former head of security, and they're doing all of this because when you're head of security working at a high level place like the Intercontinental, there are certain things that you got to abide by very strictly. Now that you're an LAPD officer, you take an oath to protect and serve. They're trying to establish his integrity.
Hmm.
Now, this security guard from the Intercontinental, right? He is net well, he was like an assistant director or something like that. Like, so he was like leadership. He wasn't the boss, but he was leadership, right? So he still reported to somebody, but he was leadership, right? So this man, they do a lot of questioning. He goes down the recounting what he remembers from the video. He alleges when he's talking to prosecutors that when he was called upstairs, he hadn't viewed the video first, so he didn't know that they were actually physically fighting. But when he got up there, Cassie had a purple eye.
Right.
He says that he had told them that they had to go back in the room just because he didn't see it himself. Cassie was saying that she wanted to leave, and Puff was saying that she couldn't leave allegedly, and he was like, no, she's going to leave if she wants to leave, right?
But
He also alleged that when he walked them back to their room that they were staying in, that he saw another man in the room sitting on the bed. Now that's important because remember, Cassie is alleging that video was her trying to get away from one of the freak offs. The defense is alleging, no, there was no freak off happening. Y'all got into it over a phone, and this was a toxic response from both sides that we saw on that video. So the man is like, okay, Cassie's trying to get out of there. She wants to go. I'm trying to help her get out of there. Boom. That's how he's talking to prosecutors. Baby Brian still got up there talking on Puff's behalf. First thing he said, okay, so you're alleging that
This
you
juicy.
were
I ain't gonna front.
you were
This juicy.
second to the head of security at the time, right? You worked for a company named Securitas. He's like, yeah. So Brian Steele's like, okay, well, would you say that your incident reports are basically like Bible? Like y'all live by that. You put everything there. It has to be honest. It has to be clear. It has to be very information. In the beginning of his testimony, he said they stick to the W's: the who, what, when, where, why, to give all the information. Because these incident reports can be used if someone tries to sue the hotel, if they need to take further action against someone staying in the hotel, and to just let you know what I mean, like let the rest
The
of the team
police,
know what's
yeah.
going on, right? So he's like, yeah, yep, 100%. What you're saying is correct, Mr. Steele. This is the witness. So Brian Steele was like, okay, well, I got a few questions for you then. You allege that Cassie had a purple eye. Why wasn't that in your incident report? You allege that you were trying to, you know what I mean, help her leave because Puff didn't want her to leave. Why wasn't that in your incident report? Like there were so many different things that they caught him up on, yo. Like it, I was sitting there like, oh. And then, right? He had alleged when the prosecutors that Cassie was trying to leave.
Mm-hmm.
When Brian Steele came on the stand, Brian Steele was like, oh, but wait, because you had said that Puff was telling you that he wanted her to leave. So what are we going by here? Now, I'm not going to lie. Prosecutors did their big one. They came back. They didn't really say too much in response to that. Instead, they replayed the video again of Diddy dragging
To try
Cassie
to
back to the room.
discredit the
Basically, like,
witness.
ain't no way you wanted her to leave and you dragging her back to the room, right? And they mic dropped after that. But the way Brian Steele caught this man up on a cross-examination. Now, let me just say, too, the prosecutors themselves, they put all their stuff out in the front. So the man from the hotel,
Yeah.
there was the original video, and then he recorded the video to then show to his wife. And they asked
What?
him, like, well, why would you record the video to then show to your wife? And he was like, because basically, after the events that I saw, I knew that if I just said it, nobody would believe me.
Oh my
So he
God.
knows, like, he said he didn't know who Cassie was, but he knew who Puff was, right? So he knows that this is like a big deal because of who's involved. So Brian Steele was then making the point that, like, yo, so you're sitting here telling me that you remember all these details. You remember a purple eye that you're testifying to, all these things on the stand from 9 years ago.
Mm.
But in your incident report, at the time of the event, what you knew was a big deal
You
because
forgot
you
to
had
add
people
it.
talking to you about your. He said his employees were coming into work asking to see the video. So you had people at your job talking to you about it. You recorded it to make sure you could show your wife because you didn't think she was going to believe you. But you didn't detail everything in your incident report that you're now on this stand claiming. I said, oh, that witness is done. He's
Yeah.
no longer looking valid no more. And this
Oh.
is the same man that, you know what I mean, was saying, hey, Puff offered me all this money allegedly to
Oh.
get rid of the video.
Video and then
Oh, congratulations, man. They lost it. It's a wrap.
right
It's a wrap. So what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts now as
I
far as
had
far as Puff goes?
I had already seen all this. So I was just like, oh, they cooked. They cooked.
So I wonder. Okay, so this is a question I want to know now, cause he's been in for what 2 years? No, has it been 2 years yet, or has it been a year?
I don't know. I think it may have been a year.
About
But
a year.
think. Just think.
They're gonna get that man time served. I don't know that he'll get
Like
completely out. What you about to say?
like he had probation before. I feel like he's gonna have time served and they're gonna put him on house arrest again. Like as if uh,
He's just gonna have more freak offs. Okay, so this is another question then. You know my stance on the freak offs, especially when you just a freaky dude. Like if you, this is how I look at it. Everybody has watched certain videos. We know we're all adults here. We know what the videos look like. We know how certain people get off. Right? Certain people like to go a lot further than I could even imagine. Who is to say that those people? Because
These jurors now, okay?
say what?
Are the jurors that are, on this trial. Who's to say that they're going to be like, oh, that ain't that bad?
Right now, when it comes to the DV, I get it. Okay, give them, charge them, whatever that's whatever that looks like. Um, but even if you tried to say again, the racketeering, how many other companies are associated? Okay, if all those companies are associated, are they going to get subpoenaed or are they going to pay people off?
They're probably going to pay people off because
Exactly.
that's what they do. But just think, okay, just think about this. Let's say he gets off, right?
Hmm.
They can't try him again because that would be double jeopardy if this came up just again, right?
Right.
You know it's going to be worse, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be so much worse because now he's defeated the system.
And he already had the God complex.
Right, he did. So you thought that him dancing in these videos was stripped. Just think he's gonna be dancing down the aisles in the grocery store, in front of his house, and everywhere else. Like the P, the I, he is really gonna be. Hmm.
So what's the difference? What would you say the difference is between Puff and R. Kelly?
It was just different circumstances. The difference between Puff and R. Kelly is they were both trying to have something that they weren't supposed to be trying to get. Whether it was trying to buy catalogs, whether it was trying to buy networks, whether it was trying to purchase or influence a group that they shouldn't have been, like
Hmm.
alcohol beverage business. Whatever it was, they were stepping on toes that they shouldn't have been stepped on, so they had to be put in their place.
Mm.
Since they needed to be put in their place and they didn't have enough influence to keep them out of there, no matter how much they had on, high influence, high profile people.
Right. Well, I'm wondering what, because I know he stepped down from Shine John, he stepped down from Bad Boy, he stepped down from all of the companies that he was associated with. Right.
That's because of racketeering. Like, I feel like that was the only reason why he stepped down. He was forced, like, it was like he was forced to do so, or he would lose more money on top of everything else. And him stepping down doesn't mean that he lost any kind of power or control, technically.
Hmm. Hmm. So this is another question. Do we think that from him being in all of these different situations, right? Do we think that people are never going to do business with him again?
Oh, I think people will definitely still do business with him because of the kind of power that he yielded before. Should he be more careful in the future? Absolutely. Will he? If he gets off with a slap on the wrist, he's definitely not going to. And good luck to those other people who have to deal with what he has already done because it's going to be, ooh, it's going to be rough.
Let me put my tinfoil hat on then for a second. Then we can go to the next subject. But my tinfoil hat's telling me this. Just like the Shannon Sharp situation,
Hmm.
I think I don't know if we said this variable if we brought this up, but I feel like just like the Shannon Sharp situation, he's up for the 100 million.
Yep.
Who's to say that they didn't set up an escort? The people that was supposed to pay him the 100 million.
Yeah.
Who's to say that they didn't set up the escort for him to get caught the way he got caught years ago?
Of course they did.
So you're gonna go with the 10-4 hat too. Okay.
I mean,
So
it makes sense. Does it not make sense? Just think about what Epstein, if they really want to get you, they will.
right, whoever they is, whoever
Everything.
they may be, you
Yeah.
know.
Those alleged people.
So in the Puff situation, who do we think the liquor companies?
Yes, I do. I think it was them. I think he stepped on the right toes at the right moment and he thought he was just doing too much, and they were just like, "Oh,
You got too grown.
okay, this is how you're coming. I got you."
So
Just,
to the setup point, like this, that's why I keep saying my tinfoil hat. I am trying to I'm trying to wonder how many companies could have been playing a psychological game with Puff years ago up until now
oh
to get him to like, cause to get people you gotta play with their brain, to get them in a certain jet stream of thought patterns.
yeah, psychological warfare.
Hmm. And I'm gonna use this dude to get hot.
I'm gonna use him. I'm gonna get everything situated. I'm gonna get it all lined up, and I think that any powerful company that sees somebody like him that has such a big complex and has a big following and has that businessman mindset to get the people, you just need to have somebody that's a good talker to get the people.
Mm-hmm.
I just needed you to be the front of
Mm-hmm.
that are going on back here.
Yeah. That's my thoughts too. I'm with you. All right, let's lighten it up a little bit. Let's lighten it up a little bit. Cause this puff trial is heavy. Lord Jesus is
Oh,
heavy.
it's so heavy, and it's just like starting.
Hmm. So all right, last thing with the puff stuff. What is it about powerful men wanting to pee in people's mouths?
I don't know, but
What is that about?
I don't know if it's like that demeaning. Like I don't know. I couldn't begin. I could not begin to give you any sort of an answer.
Like, yeah, let me just pee in your mouth. Whoa, what?
Like that's what that's what it reads in my brain. Like you, mm, nope. I'm no.
1 million, what's up? 2 million. No? 3 million. You lying?
Not lying
Four
about
million.
disgusting.
Let's start a poll. I love starting polls.
Start you a poll, but that uh, ain't enough millions in the world.
How many millions
Ain't enough
would it take? I gotta start the poll. You gotta let me start the poll.
million.
This is a lucrative love experience poll.
This is a
No,
Magneto experience poll,
no.
lucrative thought process poll. I ain't,
This because if you let it happen, it could be a lucrative experience. So, what is the amount that it would take for somebody to pee in a place that they're not supposed to pee? I'll say that. What is the amount? Y'all give me a poll. Is it
yes,
5 million?
you said in the mouth. That's what you said.
Oh, so you okay. Now we having some fun. How much? How much would it take, and where can they pee? Go ahead. I'm asking. Go ahead.
Oh shoot. Mm.
No,
Um, like in my direction,
no, on you.
like just on my skin.
Just on you. How much?
Mm.
Drake said, "Nah, you got to drink it." Nah, we don't want nobody to drink it.
Oh,
Okay, okay, I like that. Okay, I like that. This is another. We going. This is the full poll. How much would it take for you to let somebody pee on you or to pee in your mouth? How much?
I'm sure that many of moms have been peed on already. Okay, that's not the thing. You said in the mouth. No,
10 million. No, 15 million. 20 million. You lying. You lying.
that is no
Okay.
happening.
All right. I know 1,000 dudes right now like, girl, you crazy.
But you keep thinking, girl.
Oh, nah, it is mad disrespectful. I ain't gonna front. That's mad disrespectful to let somebody do that. Oh, Jesus. It's fun. All right, what we got next? We got the man blushing. Do we want to do the man blushing? I think that was fun. That's a fun one.
That's a fun.
She's a little baddie. So we'll watch this. Now this is a trigger alert for any fella that has been sniped by one of these
Beautiful,
harlots. One of these.
beautiful, beautiful, amazing women.
Uh,
Mhm.
now you have this one. I have questions for you after we play this.
To bother you, but I think it's something wrong with my eye. It's something wrong with my eye. Yeah, I just can't take them off of you. Good. It was good. I'm sweating now. 1 out of 10. What it was? Hey, 10 out of 10. Woo! Okay, okay. You look good. It was nice to meet you. You look good too. I'm Nadia. Nadia. Mm-hmm. Nadia. Is your name Google? What's your name? Is your name Google? No, it ain't Google. Because you everything I've been searching for. That's a good line. That's a good line. Yeah, did it work or? Yeah, it worked. It worked? Yeah. All right, bet. So what you doing after this? Probably just gonna chill. My birthday coming up, you know. Okay, so we lit for your birthday. Coming to
So all of my women that might be like, I ain't never doing this to no man. Oh well.
That is
Oh
lit. I
well.
got my passport.
You got your passport?
Mm-hmm.
I got my passport too.
Okay. What you got to say about that? No.
But
Oh, I thought you had something to say.
I wouldn't or haven't done it.
Okay. Would you do this
I have done that.
like this?
Mm-hmm. Corny. I was real corny. Dad jokes.
Did it work?
It did work, but when you do stuff like that, you really got to be careful because you got to aim high.
You got to teach your sisters.
They
There's
got.
some sisters coming up behind you that need to learn this lesson.
But when I tell you, it was one of those things where I didn't. I did it because I was goofy and I didn't really care to talk to the dude. I was trying to get the dude to, talk to my friend. But I was the funny person because I was like, "You got a mirror in your pants?" Because I can see myself in it. Like, are you in pain? Because I mean, an angel has fallen from the heaven,
Lame.
pulled out the
That was good though. That's good. That's good.
lamest ones, the lamest ones.
Hmm. All right, let's see what she got else.
I
What
don't mean
else
to
she got?
bother you, but are you Duncan Hines? Yeah. Duncan Hines. You seem like Duncan Hines because you sure making my cake moist. Nah, moist is one of them crazy words. Though. So that's what
Moist.
you're doing. So I don't mean to bother you, but where you from? Florida. You from Florida? Yeah. Oh shoot, me too. For real? Yeah. Okay. Hey, listen, I ain't no waitress, but I can sure take that tip. The tip? The tip. Okay, I like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I see. Let's do it. I'm sorry, I don't mean to bother you, but
Yo.
are you a sea lion? Am I a sea lion? Yeah. Nah, why you say that? Cause I can sure see you lying in my bed. Oh no, I got you, bro. I'm just saying though. You dead ass? I'm dead ass. You gonna threaten me with a good time like that? Oh, mm-hmm. You don't know my name yet. That's fine.
Yeah. He ain't playing with it. He's like,
Excuse
what's
me.
good?
I don't mean to bother you, but it's okay if I can follow you home. Yeah, because my mama always said I follow my dreams. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I like that. What's your name? My name's Nadia. What's your name? My name's Todd. Nice to meet you. Can I see your eyes?
She's stupid. I like it. I like it. I like it. Fellas, there are some new snipers out here in these streets.
I use that sea lion thing. Yeah,
So you gonna use
use that one.
so so I think it's important to have fun with it though. I think I have been noticing all of these. I can't say I was gonna say black women. Guess what? I've had to officially graduate. I've matter of fact, all women. We
Yeah,
gonna say all women. Yeah. It's not just a black thing. It's not a white thing. I have noticed the same trend with a lot of women in general.
What's that?
Um, so it's a certain level of disregard that I'm noticing. Um,
I'm listening.
Part of me understands it though. Part of me understands it because I know you don't want to welcome uh unwelcome energy. You
Hmm.
don't want to you don't want unwelcome people into your space. I get that part. But the issue is when you disregard everybody, let's say you are dolo.
Hmm.
Let's say you are alone. Huh? Alone in the world. Just me and you. But it's just you and you. Are you and Jesus? There it is. It's you and Jesus.
Hmm.
I think the signals have been from a dude standpoint, we read it like we you don't need no N no YN. Or no ON. You don't need no ON, right?
Hmm.
But the issue is I've seen firsthand so many and talked to so many women that have been in the lonely space. And I'm just like, yo, you can fix this. Like this is part of what's going on is because where my phone at? I need my dummy phone.
Cause what? Cause
Uh I'm trying to find me a dummy phone. I got a dummy phone somewhere here. Oh, here it is. Hold up. This phone is not a burner phone for everybody. Like, oh, look, we caught you with you hiding the phone. Just a burner. It's not a burner phone.
I'm
Uh,
telling.
all right. So here it is. Right. All right. Cool. Oh iPhone. Oh iPhone. Right. So that does not come on. By the way, it does not come on. It is the screen is broke and everything. Just this is proof.
Don't even listen here.
Proof of concept. Proof. All right. So I have seen so many women that purposely disregard anybody that's around them. I'm not just talking about fellas. I'm talking about everybody. Like they just like
Ooh.
and this is because I read body signs, not body signs. What is it called? What you say?
Body language.
Body language. That's it. I read body language from afar and close up because I'm a very personable person. I'm gonna speak to you and I ain't even trying to get nothing from you. I just like the human interaction. But I can see a girl, let's say she in the freezer section, right? And let's say I'm over here in produce. I can see her looking around and she's smiling, all this stuff. And about 2 to 5 feet before you get in front of one person, they be like this. I'm like, you know good and D well. You know good and D well. There wasn't nobody on that phone. If I called you right now, your phone is gonna ring. So I think that has to be fixed. This type of energy what this girl was doing, that has to be learned. That has to be learned. Cause right now it's just some weird.
So you're just saying that we all need to be more present.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. Indeed. I think it's so many dudes. Now, granted, a lot of them probably want some snacks. I get it.
Probably.
It's a snack deprivation going on in these streets. Ain't no more snacks. The pantry is empty.
Girl is lurking in the background, paying bills and saying, you know whose it is. Tell everybody.
Huh?
Yeah,
Huh? Huh?
that that sugar daddy, that Mr. Willie Earl, who and all that stuff, and yeah, be in your phone if you want to.
This is, I know a somebody Earl. I'm not gonna say his first name, but I know a somebody Earl. That's I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't like it. Something else I don't like when there's a group of women, and the funny thing is this. Watch this. All of my 35 and up women. Hey, it might be a problem. It might be a problem.
Problem.
All of the 35, well, I'll say 30 and under, like in that 25 to 30-year-old range,
Yeah.
guess what?
What?
They are so personable. They might be weirdos. Like they ain't quite figured it out. Like it's like, you got a little bit more development to go on. But on average, them mugs are so personable. They even open the doors for dudes. And I just be like, Why you do that? No, no, you don't have to do that.
That's just a person thing. Yeah.
It's been more often than not, though.
You know why? That's because those are the women who are outside more.
Okay, okay.
They're outside more. And when I open a door for a dude, when I tell you they be looking at me all sorts of upside down, sideways, like
Not used to it.
I'm like, my bad. I mean, you can go ahead. No, no. Like, what you think I'm gonna do? Like, smack it? Smack? You think I'm gonna smack your ass? Is that what it is? Is that why you're upset? Are you scared? Like, what is happening?
No, it.
I'm
I
like,
don't know. I think the old school and some of my old school fellas, y'all could chime in on this too. But I think a lot of dudes are not used to being treated nice.
I agree. I agree. I definitely agree. I had just a friend of mine. I was just like, oh, it's your birthday. If you want, I can, buy you a drink because you like to drink. I'm not a fan. Like for real. That was like the thing, like the face and everything. I was like, we're just friends. Like it's not like don't read too much into it. It's just like something friendly. Like you like to go outside and I like to be around people who are nice and
Right?
like outside and have some fun and just be around. And like his face, he was like, wow, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we're not used to none of that.
That's your own fault.
Is it though?
It is.
Okay.
You
If,
know
if
why? Because y'all like to choose number two, and y'all will leave a number one on the
I
sidelines.
don't think that. I don't think that at all. I think what's happened
Okay,
over time,
yeah, pretty
number ones have turned into twos.
damn. Oh,
Over time, the number ones have turned into number twos,
mm-mm.
and they just became. Okay, do me a favor.
Do
If
it,
we were to do a poll, if we were to do a poll,
and we will.
and let's say ages, let's make it broad. Women ages 25 to 40 and men ages 25 to 40. Who do you think are the most considerate of the two groups?
Ooh, that is hard.
No, it ain't.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Because I have experienced and witnessed both male and females in that age group. They are both inconsiderate as hell. Equally inconsiderate. They don't care about nobody but themselves. And if it's not paying out, they don't care. If they're not getting anything out of it, everything is super transactional. I can't wait to put this poll up because oh child.
Okay. Reggie says, "Hey man, a woman brought me lunch the other day, and I let her. Hey,
Do it. It's
that
back.
even feels weird. Like up front, I don't know. Oh,
It's okay. I went this is how weird y'all are.
okay.
Um Another friend of mine. He had tickets to go to the movies and wasn't able to go. I was like, well, I'll take you. Like, he was like, okay, cool. I'll buy the tickets. I was like, okay. He wanted to get something to eat. We went and got something to eat, and I paid for the food because he got the tickets. And he was like, nope, nope, no, no. And I was like, it's too late because it already came out of my account, and there's no takes back. Like, what do you mean, no? Like, what is the problem? I'm
Where does
not.
that come from?
Hmm?
Where does that come from?
Where does it come from?
Hmm.
Come from a few things, but again, that was one of my Native American brethren, and it's just not tradition. Like it's not something that you just do. 'Cause you don't do that.
I can't remember the video. It was a video. I don't know if it's in our group chat or not, but it was either a quote or a video, and it says, "Men from a young age is taught to cater to a woman and to be okay with being neglected. Women, on the other hand, are taught to neglect the man."
Shots fired.
Women are taught to neglect the man and, and follow your career. So then the end of the end of the video or the end of the quote was like, "How do we win this?"
Y'all both losers. That's all I gotta say.
So do you not,
Oh,
do you think that exists?
do I think it exists? I'm sure that it does exist, but it doesn't have to. But all of my life, and can only speak for myself and the people that I know, I feel like we were raised a lot differently. We were raised to be all these things that you men say that you want, but y'all don't really want that. Y'all don't want that.
What
Y'all,
do
I
you
feel
think we
like
want?
that the men like to be like low key neglected because they already have like two and a possible in the corner anyway. So they just waiting to, yeah, get
You
mad at me.
think that for real?
Hell yeah, I
So,
do.
so do you? Okay, this is funny. This is hilarious.
I do.
So you think? So you think that I won't say most. I'll say a lot. Do you think a lot of men have that many options where they got one in the tuck?
Yeah, I do. I do. And it gets more real or that I even attempt to go outside. You already just off gate, just off gate, just
Okay.
know that that man at least has three, just right in the corner. You know why? Because I am looking at a different age group than these YNs. They be hitting me up in my DMs like I cannot, I can't, I can't, I can't. I can't.
I don't think that don't make sense though. Okay.
I cannot. And then one dude confirmed the nonsense that he was like, "Yeah, I I am talking to some other people," and I was like, "You
Okay.
like, why are you talking to me?
Do you
They,
feel? Do you
oh,
feel?
you know what this man said? You was
So do you? Do we think? Do we think
oh,
that the options are real? So okay. And the reason I'm asking this question.
another chick turns 18. All right, let me
Say
tell you,
what?
every minute another girl turns 18, and there Shannon Sharp is the prime example.
No.
He's a prime example of, oh, she 18. Like, for real?
Okay. My issue with that, with the whole Shannon Sharp situation, is you have too much writing to be that reckless with the D. Way too much riding
That's
and
that's right.
too many resources. Right now, on the flip side, I can see what he says. I got a whole lot riding. I got mad money. I can do what I feel like doing. Same. It's the same thing, but the outcome is different. I don't think that the average dude has that many options. The average. I'm not when I say average, we can't put me or nobody like me in this category. I'm talking about folk that ain't got no Grammys, that
Reggie,
ain't bought no house.
now, so I can't, but now you done added house.
I,
House, come on.
I can't when you I'm saying if you add all of those variables together, right? That guy, of course, he'll probably have mad options. Of course. There's a
Has
plethora of options. But
the
the average dude,
I'm talking about the average dude. I'm talking about this dude. He can be staying with a girlfriend and have two in the corner. And he probably using this other chick's car to go down there. You what have you not seen, baby boy? You you playing. That's real. That's some real nonsense. But it really happens. It
only
really happens.
I could say off the rip, maybe two dudes out of maybe the 30 dudes that I know. Let's say two dudes. They got options. They got mad options. I'm not gonna say their name. I'm not gonna say their occupation. Just know it's like that.
Pretending like he my boyfriend at your job. Him.
So what? Oh, you talking about? See,
Yep. Him. It's
Prime example.
a prime example of having options. What up, friend? Definitely.
But
He right there. He's single and outside. Like he has many options. I'm
okay, I got
there.
it. All right, I'm gonna tell the truth. All right, so they let me in, they let me into their single world, and I was like, y'all are wild. But then on the flip side, I was like, I would do the same thing. All right, so it's some site that they were all is. I think let's see.
Mm,
Dun, dun. So out of the six dudes that's in my similar position, out of the six dudes, I'm gonna say two of them are single, right? Maybe two of them are married, the ex single, but two of them are really single. They ain't got no girlfriend, they ain't got nothing. All right. They told me about this app. I'm not gonna say the name of the app, and it's not Tinder or nothing like that. It's like it's some other stuff, but just black folk, majority black folk. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, they were they were telling me, yo, bro, the app is crazy, dog. So one dude,
what's his
I'll tell you about it when we get off.
aspect?
But one dude was just like, yo, mate, look at this joint, it's crazy. and, and then he was starting to go back and forth with one girl. And this is what made me say, I don't think dudes have that many options. Not for real, for real. It's not a lot of options like that.
Ooh, okay, go ahead, finish it. And I have follow up for that. Go ahead.
All right, so I saw one dude, he was going back and forth with a girl. And she was just like, yeah, I'm into going to movies. I just work all the time. I'm a registered nurse. I live in Atlanta. He was like, bet I'm about to knock her down. But the thing is, she started her she
Hmm.
started getting into box talk immediately. So of course, if she gonna get into the box talk immediately, why wouldn't he?
That means that's they on that level. Oh, I can't wait to get to put add follow ups into this because
So so the other dude, I can't say but so much because I don't want to get him in trouble. But the other dude semi had an option that he's been entertaining for a while, right? But this dude is like mad diesel. Like he's one of them. Like if any woman saw him with his shirt off, he's like, oh, that's Michael J. White. Like he's on that level with it. Like even me as a man, I'm like, oh yo, bro, yo, bro, your body crazy, dog. Pause.
wow.
Your body. No Diddy. Because I'm working on my body and I want to get diesel too. So it's like a little mentorship type of thing, right? But I knew for a fact the first picture that he threw on that site was gonna be him with that shirt off. He did. Guess what happened?
We have 15.
Right. So that let me know, okay, it is a specific type of dude that gets all of these options. Cause where my other partner, he was getting a few hits.
Yeah, he had to try a little harder because he didn't have all of that. And
Right.
let me tell you something. I can't wait, wait to add in the extra.
Go
You
ahead.
those other guys, they do have to do a little bit more work. But let me tell you something. Just because they don't have the like hunky hunk over here doesn't mean that they don't have multiple options. Because you didn't say option, you said options,
But
plural,
for
plural.
them, for okay, so when I look at it like that, I feel like automatically the woman has the upper hand for every circumstance. Case in point, and maybe I'm just a nice guy, right? I'll credit some of that just me being a nice guy. But it was a lady. It's happened two times. The first time today was a lady at the grocery store. She was at Aldi. She parked first off in the area that says no parking.
Yeah.
She wasn't a pretty lady or nothing like that. She's just a woman.
Hmm.
Parked in a certain spot. It says no parking. Security guard says, "How long you gonna be in there?" She said, "Ain't gonna be that long." Right? So he let her go ahead and go in. If that was a dude, what would have happened?
Move
You
your
don't,
car.
if you don't take your monkey A over there, parking that parking space over there, I don't care if it's all the way in the back of the parking lot. You go park over there. First thing. Secondly, same woman comes out. She can't get in her car because something wrong with her handle. So she asking any dude, any dude she's asking in the parking lot, and this is an older lady, older black lady, asking every dude in the parking lot, "You got a screwdriver?" Because sometimes I be having to put a screwdriver in the door and then it open up like that. Guess what? Every dude did. Tried to figure out a way to help that lady. Flip side, what would the dude do? If you don't get your monkey A, call AAA. Find $100 and call AAA and get your door open, bro. And why you park in the fire zone anyway? They should just tow your ish. Am I lying?
I
No,
don't.
I'm not lying.
I don't know. I'm not a man, so I can only take your word for it. But okay,
I think double standards are necessary.
okay.
That's what I think. I think double standards are necessary. I think um, women, y'all might not like what I'm about to say, but I think women should be protected.
We should, and I appreciate that. And I
Your
take.
your sisters wouldn't say that though.
I don't care about. You know what? I don't care about them. They better understand and get right. I'm happy to. I bring it on. I would appreciate it very much, and not me not having to be the one to um let it be known.
Okay, so what were you about to add? You said I can't wait to add. What were you about to add to this?
Okay, so you sitting over here saying that men don't have very many options and they got to do all this extra stuff. When I tell you, I met what I am going to call this dude was definitely a sniper. And he was a sniper of the tongue. Like he was quick with it. Like I was like, okay, like I can see how you be getting a bunch of people because like you want it. You are one. And he was trying to be funny. He was like, I think like if I really wanted like I could have you. I was like, yeah, big boy, I don't nah. He was like, so a trip wouldn't do it? A trip to what? Like if I said let's go to Jamaica, like you ain't I said, hell no. Absolutely not. Like I'm not that easy. Like there's not a trip that you could give me that would make me be like, oh my god, oh no.
Let me do a PSA right quick. Fellas, this is 2025. Puffy is officially on trial for them trips that you sent. All them trips y'all offering these women, that is trafficking. Don't do it. That is trafficking in disguise. That's just like eating ice cream and not saying it's a carb. It's
It's
just ice. It's just ice cream.
ice cream.
Nah, dog. Okay.
I was like, oh, word, oh, that's cool. Go holler at them other three people that you got in the back and tell them that you'll take them to Jamaica because you're making me crazy because it ain't happening, partner. It ain't happening. It was like, oh wow, like I would have to work. I was like, no, you don't have to work. I'm gonna make it easy for you. Choose some honey dips that you already got in the back that is easy to get and ain't gonna cause you no problems.
It's easy to get bad.
You're gonna spend a lot more money. You know how they're easy to get because they're gonna be easily gone because the next one that's coming through
Reggie said she has to book her own flight.
that
But they still gonna do a paper trail. They still gonna do a paper trail.
do it.
Oh man, I don't know. This has been fun. I don't know. I have a little bit of faith in folk doing right. Um,
I don't know, y'all. I have seen men have some great options down to Uncle Earl having all of them women on lock because all he got is his pension and his social security and he has his money in the bank. Charlie, what you think? House paid for. He just like, you know what it is?
do we think Uncle Earl is really? Do we think he has a good point of view in what to look for in women? I don't think Uncle Earl would know what he's looking for.
You and what to get in women. I just said that he could get them.
Hmm.
He can get them. Like you saying that men don't have options. You have options. You can get them. I didn't say they were keeping, but you can get them.
So is keeping one worth the time? Is
It's
anybody looking for sustainability in relationships?
what that I've seen. I have definitely not seen that. Definitely not seen that. I've definitely seen like past the Dutch type stuff, like going around, like they going for them Betty girls, and they just passing that Dutch around, and that's just what that is. I'm just,
Okay.
I mean,
Now I have a poll that I want us to talk about, and then we can wrap it up.
hmm
But it's a poll that I saw on Lil Duval's page, and it's talking about the consumption of corn. I'll say corn. And I want to see what's your take on it. Why do you think it is like it is as far as the numbers? All right, so and it's giving us years. It's giving us years in between. It's giving us. Let me see. Just said peace. All of my options. Peace
they should
out.
have picked out Dre. Once you got married, they should be gone.
Uh, we need to talk, Drake. We need to talk.
You ain't.
Let's talk about
Oh my gosh.
what? I'm just being real. I'm just being real. Uh, listen, I be forgetting to wear my ring. I'll say it publicly because it's no secret, right? I be forgetting to wear it sometimes, a lot of the times. But that that ain't nothing right there. When I forget to wear it, it's just something random to do. All right, whatever. As soon as I put that joint on,
You get swarmed like honeybees.
like a pit bull, girl, I am I'm full blown married.
They were like, "Ooh, no real." When I keep talking, men don't have. I'm so sick of you. Uh,
Uh, okay, look at this. All right, we see the viewership, right?
mhm.
China, look at China. China going crazy. Look at where the U.S. is though. All right, China and India. Now, if we were to look at China and India's population, they dusting us right now, right?
Yeah,
We are on a decline with population. What Reggie says,
we don't want a
we don't
trade.
want to trade war with China today.
They ready.
Yeah, they are. They literally are. Look at the numbers. It don't even, and we only at 2020. I'm gonna see if I can fast forward it. I don't know if I can fast forward it or not. I can't fast forward it. Look, everybody down here, Thailand ain't doing nothing. Thailand said we got too much work to do, big dog.
But okay, think about like the work balance that they have versus what we have. They are not working all the time.
Ooh. Okay, hold on. Get okay. We on to something now. So and when you're saying they're not working as much as us, you talking about China?
Yes, they
Tell me more.
European people have and people everywhere but here have a very different way of living. Like they actually live. There is a disconnect here where we have to overwork to be able to sustain what this life is supposed to be. Like populating the earth is like the last thing that we want because I mean you're are you hockey miserable?
Mm.
Like you have to work so hard to even do anything. You have like 15 jobs. When when do you have time to sit back and enjoy some corn?
Come on, me?
Yeah,
Whatever I want. Nah. I'm about to say I'm pup son. I'm not pup son. No.
but you know,
I'm in a goofy. I'm in a goofy mood. Oh.
riding down the road in your self-driving Tesla. That's the only time that you.
Yes.
And then everybody and your mama just like looking in the car and be like, "Oh, you see what they watching? That big screen."
I think I'm done with the Tesla too. I think I'm done with the Tesla. I think I've settled officially on the Lexus. Let me give me a clap for being decisive. Let me hold up. Let me. Yeah. I think I'm officially done. I think I'm gonna go with the Lexus. I seen. Yeah. Okay. And we gonna get back to this because this is.
No, Lexus has like a version of that car.
I know, but I don't like it though. I don't like it. I'm gonna try hybrid. I'm gonna try hybrid first and see how that works out.
Yeah,
But um, I ain't gonna skip subject because I don't. That's a whole nother situation. But when it comes to lifestyle, you said that. I think that there are so many different options in the lifestyle category. But the options that's in the lifestyle category is not glamorized.
hmm
It looks like the most basic A ish as possible. It ain't no vacations. It ain't no lobster. It ain't no steak. It ain't no filet mignon. It ain't none of that. It's just living a good life, right?
hmm
I think over here in the US, everything has been incentivized to be a go getter and to go win in life. And for the most part, winning in life has looked the same for a lot of people. Um, Wherein, on one hand, in my capitalistic brain, I love the idea because it gives people um, reasons to do something. It incentivizes them to do right, right?
I have a question for that though.
Okay, talk to me.
So it incentivizes them to do right.
Or bad. Just look at Puff.
True. So if this was so great, right? Everything that we have wouldn't be triple taxed. We buy health insurance, it's taxed. We go to the doctor, there's another tax. We buy food, there's a tax. We get a paycheck, it's taxed, and we get like 40% of whatever our paycheck is. And then we never own anything truly. Your house, you're constantly having to pay taxes on your house, even after you pay for it. And it said it goes up, it never goes down, or it never stays at a plateau where your house, at what you pay for it at this particular time, you continue to pay those same taxes on your house.
Hmm.
And then we are expected to have this wonderful life when everything that we have is completely taxed. Not only is it taxed, but we're not allowed to make money without giving something to the government, which is fine. But at what point is it going to stop and pan out where it we don't have to work so hard to make this same money? The amount of hours that we work, money that we bring in, the people in other places, they don't work in the summer or they have like 2 months off, and
Right.
not including like a Christmas and these other things. This is like an actual brain break vacation, like
Right.
we closed. When is that going to match what we're supposed to have? And people always want to bash, oh, Canada, they don't have any taxes. Oh, they have this. Oh, it's poor. That you got to stop. Because if it came down to it and we only had to pay that amount of money, that $400 a month, if you work for a company, to go to the doctor, and that covered everything, it wouldn't be so bad to go. But
True.
it is. Don't want to go get an MRI or any imaging because it costs you $5,000, on top of the fact that you still got to pay rent, you still got to buy groceries, you still got to have electricity, water, sewer, and waste management. And all of that, there is a tax, a service fee, a surcharge. And you never know exactly where all these extra surcharges are coming from, because they now have a new one that covers Tesla electricity.
Hmm.
Oh, you have to try to figure out, what does this V for your city mean? Oh, that's the voltage for people that have the Teslas that you have to pay for them having that little station down the street now. Because
Yeah.
who you gonna be mad at?
I'm conflicted because on one hand, I agree completely. I totally agree with you. As far as like the healthcare, like it's trash. It is super trash because I feel like why am I paying a $100 deductible or $500 deductible depending on what I'm doing? Even car insurance, I feel like all that's a scam, right? All of it's a scam. Because if you file the claim on the
You're
insurance,
up.
the insurance goes up. So it's like, ah, what was the point of me paying you all these years anyway? And then why are you going to penalize me for not having insurance if I don't get it? I agree with you wholeheartedly on that part. I think where I'm conflicted is I've seen too many. I can't say just black people because this is just in white community too. But I've seen too many people um, be okay with always doing the assistance.
Hmm.
And we've been on it before too. I've talked about the Wick story years ago. I talked about that.
Need it, you need it. But when it has come to a point where everybody should be able to get it, and it shouldn't be that you have to not completely work. When I tell you there were people that had certain cards that would bank them between 3 to 10K a month.
Mm,
Where's this money coming from? And why is it that no one else that needs it, that are natural born people, are not able to get it? And then once these people who are not natural born are gone, then you're still not going to distribute it to the people that are here. Like,
exactly.
goes to I could talk about that forever, but it's changing. It's not going to make anything better, and people aren't going to do anything about it.
And then something else when it comes to they're talking about garnishing wages for was it not scholarships but all the
Like
money,
student
student
loan.
loans, all that stuff, right? This is my issue. And all my conservatives, I'm sorry, y'all knew what y'all were doing when y'all started following me. So
It
anyway,
is.
I feel like it is the most stupidest thing ever for a whole institution to be certified and accredited. Is it accredited? How you say it? Accredited? Is it
It.
accredited?
Hmm.
It's stupid for them to get all of this money from the state or whatever to hold these programs. And once the student gets out, then there's no inkling of that student being able to make the money that they just took a loan out for,
Hmm.
or it's such a high interest rate loan where let's say even if you're a doctor, you go to school for what 8 years, at least 8 years, right? If you're a doctor, go to school for 8 years. It's needless to say you're definitely going to be in $100,000 category of student loans.
Easy.
Okay, why why you still got to do all this other stuff before you start making money?
Hmm.
You're technically working what 2 years in the hole?
Two, they're working like 4 years in the hole.
Is it 4 years?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's make it make sense.
It's,
So what?
they don't want to.
That's stupid. That's stupid. So for me, that's why I go so hard, and I've talked about this with my girls too. Like once it gets high school time, and maybe a little bit before, they have to submit business plans to us, and based off of that business plan will be what education I feel they should go pursue. Right? If any of their business plan has anything to do with entrepreneurship, no, I want you to go work for this company over here and you go work for this company and learn certain skills and learn the trade of that business. And then now that you have those skills, let's open up your business. I'm gonna help you with the LLC. I'm gonna help you do all this other stuff. But if you say that if you say that you want to just I want to go to college to figure out how to make glasses, girl, you
Absolutely.
girl, please. You gotta do that. Now I will pay for you to go take a 1 day class. I'll pay for you to go to trade school. All right, a little small trade school to learn how to make glass. How about that? Cause I'm just like this, but and then that starts to eat me up because our parents,
So pushed us out the door.
our parents said, "Oh no, whatever you do, you just got to go to college."
Right. That's
Okay,
be all because last time I checked, I don't think that you went.
so now this is the thing. This is where the the psychology and the programming comes in because I'm looking at all of our parents that may not have finished college, but they're doing super, like they're killing it in life. They're making real bags, right? All of them dudes in Alpharetta that's in their 50s and 60s, a lot of them didn't go to college. They just worked their way up.
Right. And they had connections with knowing the right people. Knowing
Exactly.
is a huge, huge game for you. Connecting with the right people and being in connection with people who know the right people to put you in those conversations with. It's a very big thing. Being able to have a conversation in multiple different levels and facets of life is huge. Being able to talk to somebody who has $5 and $5 million, it's a big difference.
Exactly. I talked about the Tesla story with me going to the Tesla dealership and the Indian man says, "Okay, I see your badge. Oh, so you do some type of inspection? Like, what do you do?" And I told him what I did. He said, "Oh, we're hiring. I can pay you $100,000." No, I think he said $95,000. But I was like, he said, "And the company car. Here's my card. Give me a call." And I'm just like, this is what this level of person does.
Right. But was that person one of us or what?
No, he was Indian.
Okay, he was one of them. Let me tell you something. I know some people that are like us that have influence that would not even follow, speak, or move when it comes to anything that I am doing, you're doing, or that it can make them look you doing better than I am.
It's the Jordan complex.
Shame.
It's the Jordan complex. I talked about this a little bit earlier. Um, I can't. It may have been my wife or it was somebody else. It was. I've talked to a lot of people about the same thing. It may have been the girl from the gym, Alex. What up, Alex? You're. But I was saying a lot of the times with us black people, we have been programmed to only buy and follow the thing that's hot. We only support the thing that's hot. Versus other races, they're used to, well, not used to, they take pride in finding the person before they made it, right? They take pride in saying, "Oh, I remember Jeff Bezos where he was just selling books."
Right.
Black folk was no Amazon. Yeah, I love using Amazon. Well, it's Jordan now. It's the hot and pretty thing that everybody loves to use. Of course, you're gonna love it. But I think that is a big issue with us because the people that learn how to adapt to the new thing up front builds the equity, and that's how they get rich.
Mhm.
They get rich. Just think about everybody that was probably buying Amazon stock. Hold up, I like to do. I like to look at my numbers. Hold up, how much was Amazon stock in? Give me a date. Give me a year.
2015.
Nah, he was hot by then.
2018. 2008. Let's do that. 2008. I don't even think it was like a thing.
Yeah. Okay, Amazon stock in 2008 was $2.56. $2.56. Let's see how much it is now. How much is Amazon? Oh, and I love because this is the same. This is what has to be fixed. The mindset. Now Amazon stock is $200 and $211.37. So if you would have just bought 100 shares of stock
You
at
be
was that $200 and some change back then,
yeah.
$200,000 you would have by now. But everybody want to be on the train of what's hot and what's already moving. Not me. That's why I be like this. What y'all doing? Okay. How
Yeah.
much y'all need?
Listen to that. Where we at? Where we going over? What y'all say? Yeah.
Even with this is a play that I'll give everybody. And I don't know how many people will make it to an hour and 40 minutes in, but the ones that do, y'all gonna get this gem. This is exactly why I'm okay with the slow ground when it comes to podcasting. When it comes to the idea of developing somebody like K, right? When it comes to the idea of doing a stage play and this new type of content I'm about to start putting out, this is why I'm okay with doing this stuff because guess what? Everything gets hot over time.
Yeah.
If you keep grinding and keep getting it done, every just and it's been proven over and over. Look at Tyler Perry, right? Tyler Perry started in '96 or earlier.
And everybody was watching VHS recording of somebody that actually bought it, and now you looking at the bootleg version, or you actually had that good granny that bought the real one. Like it just,
Exactly. Right. Everybody saw the same thing at the same time.
yep.
Everybody was not behind Tyler Perry though, like they are now,
No.
and respecting him for being a mogul and all that stuff. That
When he
wasn't happening.
it didn't when he had that big mic on the front of his foot, and it was just like tape there, like bam.
Yeah.
Mm.
But look now, at least I'm sure he's a couple billion up. They just not gonna release that information.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just like even some of the bigger podcasts that I look at, and some of the bigger podcast network, Barstool.
Hmm.
I've been following Barstool since the conception of the idea of Barstool. I have literally seen them only have maybe 3 podcasts to hundreds, and they're giving like they gave Call Her Daddy I think 50 million for one podcast.
Wow.
So I'm just looking like, oh, so all we gotta do is turn the microphone on,
Mhm.
start talking. Something's gonna hit at some point. Put the clips out, and we ride it all the way to M's. Yeah, let me get that. Let me get that. So everybody, y'all need to start. Everybody got to start doing something like, cause what's gonna happen? I promise you. And this low key already started to happen. I think it's funny, but it's been some people that, especially when I went back to work, some people were like, "Oh, so you quit the podcast stuff?" I was like, "No, I ain't quit it." So I showed them the regular Mad Lucrative Network. It was like, "Oh, you got you got some real subscribers." I was like, "Yeah, we're still going." I said, "We've even added a podcast." I showed them this pod. They're like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Yeah." Don't think that I'm a bum because I chose to came back.
When
Uh,
you know what I think I'm gonna start doing is when people be hitting me up on relationship advice, you know who you are. Y'all, one of y'all already owe me like 3 pairs of shoes and a bag. You know who you are. Uh, you that I talked to today, we putting in a tally. I don't have Zelle, but I mean,
I
I
ain't
do
gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. I had something to say that was real spicy, but I ain't gonna say that.
bring it. No, no, we ain't holding back. We already won for
No, so this is for me. I take a mental note of everything, and maybe that's the toxic masculine energy in me. That's the toxic, but I take a mental note of everything, right?
Mhm.
And even certain words of advice that I've given people, I take a mental note of. That's like those are like my advice is like me giving out my little babies, like they swimming.
Like nurturing.
Yeah, I'm giving out my little babies to everybody, right? Well, not everybody, to a lot of people. And I just sit and look and see how they conduct themselves and how they conduct what they said they call their dream.
Hmm.
So many people give up on everything almost instantly. And I just be looking like, you said that you wanted to do this big thing and you said, yeah, I want to get millions of people. I said, okay, this is the way, this is the route to do it. This is the route that I got. If you have a better one, I'm gonna say go do that. Go find another coach. Do all that stuff, right? But then only for me to give the advice a lot of times for free, and you don't do nothing. Just be like, oh. So now the new version of me, and I don't know if you've caught it.
No,
This is
I peeped this a minute ago. I don't
this
even know.
is intentional. This is intentional. I hold back a lot of advice now because I know that so many people ain't gonna use. They're not gonna use it. So for me, it's a waste of time.
He be doing it to me too. Like it be pissing me.
You just, you're done. You doing the work, no.
It be
Yeah,
putting back burner. I be like, I'm my brain like for
you doing the work, no.
real. I do the work, but still.
But the people, I'm talking about the people that's not doing nothing. Cause see, even for me, the way I look at this, right? And you know now, I think you know by now. This is technically probably 26 to 30 episodes in, but this is only 23 with the new page. You know how much time and effort it goes that goes into prepping for a pod.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get your lighting. You got to do your makeup. Just to get in front of a camera and talk about stuff. It takes a lot of effort. So I think a lot of people just get used to doing the same thing over and over and over. I'd be like, yo, dog, y'all got to come with something better than that. Y'all got to come with something better than that. Let me see what's something happened. I don't know what happened to the camera. Reggie says, remember find out about him through bootleg. Yeah, I'm assuming he's talking about Tyler Perry. Everybody was on Tyler Perry back then. Uh, Something else that was cool. What was it? I think it was Tommy Davidson. It was Tommy Davidson and Ricky Smiley. Ricky Smiley when he had them dang on what was it? The prank phone calls that Ricky Smiley used to do back in the day. Everybody was on it. See, for me, I'm like, I think we got to get back to that groundwork where everybody is working the malls. Everybody is somewhat selling stuff out the trunk again. Like getting in front of people. That's what's missing. That's why the labels, that's why the music is lame. That's why everything is just like watered down. Folk got to get in front of people again. Folk got to get in front of people again. I guess what I'm gonna do. I don't know if Kay's phone died or whatever she was on died, but what I'm gonna do is I'm about to get off. Hopefully y'all enjoyed tonight's show. I'm to Next week. I don't know if I'm gonna be on next week. We're gonna see if she's gonna do the show. Dolo, I have to work. I already know I have to work, so I'm just planning ahead of time. And now if I don't get no calls, then I'll be here. But as of now, I will not be able to shoot next Tuesday. So y'all gonna get some clips. And yeah, I'm gonna holler at y'all. All right, peace.